It really ain't the rap audience is bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mid. So to crush that stereotype, here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that you could unite and fight for what's right. Not negative cause. The way we live is positive. We don't kill our relatives.
Pop, 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 when it's shot, who's to blame? Headlines, front page, and rap's the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before our time.
Took a brother's life with a knife as his wife cried, cause he died of trifling death when he left his very last breath. Was I slept, so watch your step. Back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters were hanged. How could you gangbang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man, cause that's self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Funky fresh dressed to impress, ready to party. Money in your pocket, dying to move your body. To get inside, you pay the whole $10. Scotch tape with a razor blade taped to your collar. Leave the guns in the crack and the knobs alone. MC Lights on the microphone, bum rushing and pushing, snatching and taxing. I crammed understand why brothers don't be maxing. There's only one disco, they'll close one more. You ain't guarding the door, so what you got a gun for? Do you rob the rich and give to the poor? Yo, daddy.
Everything's fine.
Brothers and sisters, everything's fine. We had a mass meeting tonight since he won't give me the mic. Either give me the mic or I'll talk like this. I've been asking for, I'm good, I've been asking for 5 minutes.
He has a mic in his hand. But what's going on?
One. I don't need a bunch of people standing around. Testing. Good. Thank you so much. Somebody say forward together. Forward together. Can I have this? Now, I know that some of you are disabled, and I understand there's seats up in the balcony and on the sides. I got it, Gina. I do this every Sunday. But my brothers and sisters, this is a Poor People's Campaign mass meeting and concert. This is not a party, because we just had a bill passed in the Senate and people are dying. There's a lady here today whose daughter died of breast cancer in her arms because Alabama didn't expand health care. For every 500,000 people that do not get health care, 2,800 people die, not because it's their time, but because governors and legislators choose to murder them. I'm not in a partying mood tonight. And we don't have the Poor People's Campaign mass meeting with a party music, whether it's new music or old. So I asked the DJ to stop. I know there's some conscious lyrics in there, but brothers and sisters, we should be crying in this nation. We're getting ready to elect a pedophile to the United States Senate. And long before he was accused of being a pedophile, he blocked legislation that would help poor people in Alabama. We had people today to testify who are homeless in the wealthiest nation in the world. The School of Public Policy, the Mailman School of Public Policy, says that 250,000 people die every year from heart attacks, strokes, from poverty, low income. That's more people than die from heart attacks, strokes, and diabetes. So if you're going to stand tonight, I want to invite you down. Come down. I want to invite you to come down. I want to invite you to come down. If you're going to stand for this mass meeting tonight. How many of you are here because you know about the Poor People's Campaign? How many? And there is a place for music. There's a place for singing. But before we do anything, there's too many people are dying, and they don't have to. Do you realize that bill they passed, they could take 13 million people's health insurance? Not where is she at? That woman, you hear her just hollered up there? Her son died. I know that voice. I can't see her. She's a white lady from Appalachia, from the mountains. This thing ain't about black and white and brown. It's about all of us hooking up together from every culture. Today there was a chief there from Arizona, Phoenix, outside of Phoenix, lives on a reservation where a multinational company is drilling down in the ground and contaminating the water aquifers. Now I know you got a production, but I'm moved tonight by the Spirit to do what I'm doing. I'm a pastor. I bury people because of these politics. And ain't nothing funny going on right now. People hipping and hopping and jumping around like everything is okay. In other nations, people are in the street by the millions. Rosa Parks, the anniversary of her sitting down was December 1st, 62 years ago. And we have less voting rights today than we had 52 years ago. Today, before we got in here, the president opened up 2 million acres of Native American lands so that corporations can come in and drill. People where the Native American bodies and their ancestors lived, and they were there before anybody else. So, brother, I ain't upset at you. I ain't upset at nobody but wrong. But sometimes you got to be careful about the mood you set when you're getting ready to fight. Now, when I come from when it's sure enough serious praying time, you don't just come out with mood that makes people, this ain't a party tonight. Maybe it is for some other folk, and if that's the case, then the Poor People's Campaign, we'll do our piece and we'll walk out. But we didn't come here for party, we came here for consciousness. We came here to recruit some people that are willing to do civil disobedience, that are willing to go to jail, that are willing to make this nation cry over the way in which people are being treated. You can buy unleaded gas, but can't buy unleaded water. Talk to me, somebody. I don't have time to be scripted, because the evil that's happening is not scripted. Every morning we get breaking news. And it's not just Trump either. You can see those that acted like they didn't like Trump, but as soon as it got down to the taxes, they all aligned, because the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. And so before we do anything, Freddie, where are you? Where's my brother Freddie? Before we do anything, come here, Doc. Yara, where are you? Come here. Where are you, Yara? You know what the book said, what doth the Lord require? How many of you are just a tad bit angry at what you see going on? I didn't say mad where you're going to hurt yourself. I didn't say mad where you're going to hurt your family. But anger comes from the word and grief. How many of you have a sense of grievingness, a sense of hurt by what you see happening in this country? People all over the world. I was in Rome just a week ago, and folks asked, what in the world is going on? Rolling back your voting rights. States like Missouri, where we had where the young man was killed, Mike Brown, not only they're actually cutting their minimum wage, taking it backwards. So forgive me if I don't feel too much in the party mood. I partied when I was young, and I don't mind partying. I know how to praise the Lord and all of that. I can cut a mean rug. But right now, America ought to be on its knees. Y'all, where are you? Are y'all up here, Freddie? What doth the Lord require? But to do justice. You know that, y'all? You remember we used to sing that at every mass meeting. It's a slow song. And I want to ask those of you who realize that Kaepernick ought not be the only one taking a knee. To take a knee in this Howard Theater. Kaepernick. Now, I can't take one. I got a bad case of arthritis, but I almost feel like getting down there if it hurts me. But are there any folk in here tonight that believe that America, we need to be on our knees, and then we need to get up from our knees and fight against what we see happening? And if you're able to take a knee, would you do it tonight? Freddie, would you lift that? Wherever you're, even up in the balcony, the old deacons, turn around where you are in the seats. Mike, y'all can fix this. Don't act like you can't fix it. In church, we change all the time. It's called Holy Ghost. Don't tell me that the script is that. This ain't a production. This is a mass meeting. their blood
love,
and in their brains.
mercy,
Geniuses who are being robbed. We kneel
walk
and demand that this nation repent.
with your God.
For $6 trillion spent in war
Woe,
that should have been spent on health care
woe unto thee.
and living wages.
Who is you, oppressive decree?
We kneel because of the lying theology that says all you got to do
They should
to
do
serve God is hate gay people. That's a lie.
justly.
Hate abortion.
Love,
Religion should be about love
mercy,
and justice. We kneel not because we're weak, but because this nation is too arrogant. Our leaders are too arrogant. And we need a movement that will get us back on our knees. Cause us to cry again
the Lord
till we do right
of thee.
by the least of these, by the broken,
What
by the hurting.
doth the Lord require
Are you kneeling in the balcony?
of thee? But to do justly.
Make sure this is getting on live stream.
Love,
Make sure you're taping this. Black and white, and gay and straight, young and old, and Latino and Native American kneeling together. Grab somebody by the hand and say, I'm going to help you up. Because when I get up from my knees, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to stand. I'm ready to fight for justice and love. Come on. Now put your hands together. Come on and put your hands together. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for a poor people's campaign? And a national call for a moral revival. Look at your brother and sister and say, if you fight, I'll fight with you. Say, if you'll stand, I'll stand with you. You say, if you go to jail, I'll go with you. But we are going to fight for the soul of this democracy. Is there a shout in the house? Now, Mr. DJ, that we have properly honored the moment, now you can kick it a beat if you want to. But you always understand the moment that you're in. Amen? God bless your heart.
Good morning or evening, friend. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster. Could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love in need of love today. possession, and it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then you'll hear me when I say, oh, oh, that love in need of a love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hey, hey, going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it goes too far. People, you know that love.
Good evening. We are here. We would like to acknowledge the ancestors for paving the way and making it possible for us to be here tonight. We are in gratitude for the indigenous whose land we share today and the elders who marched unbowed and unbent in the streets of our nation over 50 years ago and awakened this country and indeed the world to our shared humanity and truly inalienable human rights.
These are difficult and dangerous times, and there's a need to break through the moral narrative that blames poor people for being poor, that focuses on misguided issues like gun rights and protecting private property, and whenever we're supposed to talk about morality, we only talk about abortion, prayers in school, and sexuality. We need to affirm that the real moral issues are how you treat the poor, the marginalized, and the newcomers.
And we need to build power among the people in our local communities and states and organize. We know that this is the time for a poor people's campaign and a moral revival in our nation. We know that we are the leaders we need for this important time. Welcome, everyone, to the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C. I'm Gina Belafonte.
And I'm Van Jones. But before I say anything else, can I just get an amen for the fact that we got Gina Belafonte on the stage?
What?
Gina Belafonte with Sankofa on the stage.
No,
Oh,
it's you, it's us.
I love it, I
I'm
love
down.
it.
This
sorry.
is amazing.
I'm a fan. I can't help myself. So we want to welcome those of you who are here, and especially the people who are not here, who are live streaming. There are people around the world who are watching, who couldn't be here tonight, but they're here tonight in spirit. And we want to acknowledge the sponsors who are making their participation possible. That is Ben & Jerry's and the Campaign for Black Male Achievement. Give a round of applause to Ben & Jerry's and the Campaign for Black Male Achievement.
Whether it's racial justice, LGBTQ equality, climate justice, refugees, fair trade, peace building, getting the dough out of politics, or supporting GMO labeling, Ben & Jerry's uses the power of its business to create positive change in the world. Yes, I read your lines.
I don't mind. You can read whatever you want to read. You Jenny Belafonte. I'm cool. So I'm going to read your lines.
To read them.
And the Campaign for Black Male Achievement is a national membership network that seeks to ensure the growth, the sustainability, and the impact of leaders and organizations that are committed to improving the life outcomes for black men and black boys. It is the only organization that supports local leaders on the ground while at the same time amplifying and catalyzing the movement for black male achievement all around the world, where our brothers and our sons are seen for the limitless assets that they are. Give them a round of applause.
Yes.
That's good. We also want to acknowledge all the folks who've come together to support the event. That includes the Howard Theater. Give the Howard Theater a round of applause.
Yes,
Beautiful
all
venue.
the technicians from the Howard Theater, thank you so much.
I know. The people who live streaming it, y'all missing. This is a beautiful venue and a beautiful event. Also, nothing good happens without labor and without love. And we want to make sure to recognize that the stagehands, the musicians, the technical support, the production staff, the runners, the caterers, security, the volunteers, and of course the artists for the gatekeepers of truth made this possible. Give a round of applause to the workers who made this possible tonight.
That's right. So before we get started, we want to let you know this is not just an event. We are in this moment converting this space into a mass meeting, an organizing meeting. And we need everybody here to be engaged. Tonight, you will learn how you can become a part of a growing movement, a poor people's campaign, a national call for a moral revival. So has everyone here received the pledge cards? Have you all got some pledge cards out there? If you haven't gotten them, please make sure you look for some folks that are walking
who doesn't have
around
them? This
with
is
baskets.
Raise your hand up if you don't have them.
Yes, all right.
All right, so
We've got some pledge cards that can come
with the
around.
cards. Keep your hand up till you get them, because we ain't just here for the fun.
There you go.
We need some pledges.
You'll see folks throughout the night with baskets.
And thank those volunteers too, by the way. Thank you, volunteers.
Yes, thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching online, you can also participate via the text to pledge information on the screen and on your screens at home.
Okay, and another part of the organizing is to make sure that the message gets out to others who are not here. Now look, almost everybody in here has a cell phone, a smartphone with them. And one of the things that we recognize is that we can amplify by literally hundreds of thousands of people the number of people who know and who participate just by people taking pictures and posting them up. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your social media of choice is. So that's very, very important. Movements around the world sometimes can be have their voices exponentially amplified by you doing what you're doing right now. So those of you, get your phones out. Here's what we want you to do.
That's right. We have hashtags we want to make sure that you use. Hashtag Poor People's Campaign. Hashtag Unite the Poor. Hashtag Moral Movement. Hashtag Moral Resistance. And we want you to take out your phones, take a picture with your neighbor, take a selfie, right? You got 45 seconds to do this. We're going to do it too. You ready? All right, you're going to do it first? Everybody else do it with each other. Oh. All right, now look at mine. I got mine too. All right, now, make sure you post that along with those hashtags. Hashtag Poor People's Campaign, hashtag Unite the Poor, hashtag Moral Movement, hashtag Moral Resistance. And that way we'll all be doing it together. Is it working? Are you all doing it? It's dark. Well, go to some light. All right.
I will post it.
All right, I'm going to post while you talk.
Okay. So we go to the video? Are we supposed to do the video?
Can we go to a video?
All right, so check out the video.
Feels like the old mass meetings. We're here, and all of our diversity, we're here in the human family.
There is a fire raging now for the poor of this society. They are living in tragic conditions because of the terrible economic injustices that keep them locked in.
We have to deal with our war economy and systemic racism and systemic poverty and ecological devastation. And finally, we have to deal with the moral narrative.
We are traveling around this country building this Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. What we want to do now is hear a little bit from the local community who are a part of this campaign.
I've spent 5 or so more years homeless.
Living on minimum wage has caused me to have to figure out on a daily basis how to afford basic necessities.
While the U.S. spends trillions abroad, my friends, family, and fellow veterans suffer the economic consequences of the war economy.
I have 2 children, and I enjoy raising them while acknowledging that being poor is a struggle of human rights.
But when I lost my housing, healthcare, and income all at the same time, I was terrified, panicked.
I want to stand here and reclaim the power and dignity of the mujeres in my life.
I can't afford to pay a cab.
It was one thing to know that you didn't have water and you couldn't afford your water. It's a whole nother to find out that they shut off your entire community and none of you matter.
And in the aftermath of climate change disasters, poor people and people of color are the ones to lose their homes.
Who can't survive with 725?
No parent should have, in America should have to bury their children for lack of medical space.
Being poor is not a sin. Poverty is a sin. Being homeless is not a sin. Homelessness is a sin.
And we are here, and it's time for us to be the remnant that can transform the nation.
We are calling for a season of moral resistance, a season of organizing, a season of nonviolent, massive civil disobedience.
There will be a movement that will break through the con and cut through the lies and bring people together
to save the heart and the soul of this democracy and this world.
That was a good video. Give another round of applause for that video. It's so important for us to be able to record and to celebrate the movement that we're building, and the art and the artist have such an important role. When you look at the civil rights movement, you look at the movements that have moved the world. At the center of those movements was often song, was often music, was often the celebration that only artists can bring forward. But often we just think about it as a simple melody. We're about to bring to the stage somebody who understands the deep anthropological, sociological, political science dimension of using music to build a movement. We're going to bring to the stage somebody whose voice you've already heard. Those of you who were earlier here today when Reverend Barber was on stage, you may have heard something special in the timbre of the woman's voice who was amplifying his prayer. This is something that she's been doing for years all across this country, around the world, lifting up people, lifting up movement, and helping us to begin to imagine and prefigure the world we want to live in through the power of the sound that she creates. I want you to put your phones away for 1 second and get ready to give a tremendous round of applause as we bring to the stage Yara Allen.
All right, good evening. I can't see you too well, but I know you're out there. Good evening. So I'm going to yell forward together, and I want you to hit me back with not one step back. Forward together. Not one step back. Forward together. Not one step back. Forward together. Not one step back. So I believe in creating this wonderful energy. And if there's a gap between you and somebody, if you can't reach out and elbow somebody, fill in that gap. Okay? So there's a lot going on in the world. We know that. There's a lot going on in our personal lives. That's a given. So in these times, I've held on to a song that when I wake up in the morning, it is a part of my daily routine. And the song says, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom, not stayed on what Donald Trump is doing. I woke up with my mind stayed on freedom. And then there's something down in my little soul after that says, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Y'all want to sing that with me? All right, let's try that. Come on, put your hands together. For Miss Cheryl Uzzell and Sharon Rivar. you wake up this morning with your mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Last time, come on. Yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind. Yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind. You know I got up early with my mind. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. All right, so that was warm up. Y'all are a wonderful choir. We leave Wednesday together. Pack your stuff. Here's a song that you all can sing. And the song was written for the original Poor People's Campaign in 1968. And it was written by Jimmy Collier and Mr. Fritz Kirkpatrick. And the song says, everybody's got a right to live. Everybody's got a right to live. If you believe it, shout it out. Yeah, everybody's got a right to live. And before this campaign fails, all right, here comes the commitment. We'll all go down to jail. Oh, wait, let me try that again. Let me try that again. And before this campaign fails, we'll all go down to jail because everybody's got a right to live. And so this is how you'll sing this. Everybody's got a right to live. Everybody's got a right to live. And before this campaign fails, we'll all go down to jail. Everybody's got a right to, let me hear you try it. Everybody's got a right to live. Everybody's got a right to live. And before this campaign fails, we'll all go down to jail. Everybody. Now let's put your hand clap with it. Come on, baby. Everybody's got a right to live. Let me hear you. Everybody's got a right to live. And before this campaign fails, This is between us. If you don't know this last song, you're really young. Everybody knows this little light of mine, right? Now, if you have a light, I know we're not at a Parliament concert where we would turn on the flashlights. But if you have a light, it's somewhere down in here. And it's somewhere down in here. And every time you open up your mouth, every time you say, I won't be silent anymore, you lift your light. So in here tonight, can we lift our lights? Somebody back there has the light. Look up there. Look up here. Look up here. That's it. On your phones. That's it. That's it. If you have a light. Now, I want you to know that Harriet Tubman must have looked up in the stars, in the heavens, and she had to have seen something like this. And somewhere up there was a North Star that guided her. Somewhere up there was a light. This is beautiful. Okay, band, are we ready? This little light of mine. Now, the last thing to this song is stump your foot one time. Everybody stump a foot. All right, hold up, band. Wait a minute. Everybody stump a foot again. Almost. Stump your foot again. Okay. Now, stump your foot, and if your hands are free, clap after you do. Okay. Now, this time, do it twice. Okay. This time, do it 3 times. All right. 4 times. 5 times. All right. So there's going to come a part in this song that you are the rhythm section. And that's what I want you to do. Okay? All right. That's good. That's good. How many of you are under 50? How many of you are under 40? Under 30? We're going to speed this song up just for you. It's the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. for one more. We have time for one more. So can we do this? Can you say, somebody's hurting my brother?
Somebody's hurting my brother.
And it's gone on far too long.
And it's gone on far too long.
And we won't be silent anymore.
We won't be silent anymore.
Now, this is sort of a call and response. So I'll say to you, I'll call, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on.
Far too long.
It has gone on.
Far too long.
Somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on.
Far too long.
And all together, and we won't be silent anymore. Okay, we have just time for a quick choir rehearsal. All right, here we go. Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. I tell you, it's gone on
far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on
far too long.
And we won't be silent. Put your hands together. Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on
far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on
far too long.
And we won't be silent anymore. Have you heard? Somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on
far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
far too
Oh, somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone on And we won't be silent anymore. Don't you know somebody's hurting the children, and it's gone on
far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting the children, and it's gone on And we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody wants to build that wall, y'all, and it's gone on
far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
far too long.
Oh, somebody wants to build that wall, y'all, and it's gone on And we won't be silent anymore. Don't you know somebody's poisoning the water, and it's gone on
far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on
far too
Oh, somebody's poisoning the water, and it's gone on And we won't be silent anymore. Did you hear? Somebody's taking our health care, and it's gone on
far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
far too long.
I tell you, it's gone on Oh, somebody's taking our health care, and it's gone on We won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore. Let's do it with just the voices. And we won't be silent anymore. Just the voices. I just want to hear your voices. We won't be silent anymore. No instruments at all. Here we go. I want to hear your voices. And we won't be silent anymore. Now don't sing it if you don't mean it. And we won't be silent anymore. And we won't be silent anymore. Last time. And we won't be silent anymore. Yeah.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause for Yara Allen and Freddie Green and his band from North Carolina. Thank you. Thank you. Please, please welcome to the stage the co-chairs of the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for a moral revival, Reverend Dr. Liz Theo Harris and Reverend Dr. William J. Barber.
How many of you all have been following not only Yara Allen, the theomusicologist of the movement, but Sharon and Cheryl Uzzell and Freddie Green and the Street Genie and all of those other folk? Let's give up a big hand. Now, they've been traveling all over the country and building this movement and building the music of the movement. And guess what? They are artists who also go to jail and do civil disobedience, right? And so we are thankful for them. They're not just some localized North Carolina band. This is the heartbeat of the movement. And so we're glad tonight to have Maxwell, but we're going to get Maxwell to go to jail with us. We're glad tonight to have Sweet Honey in the Rock, but we're glad to have them, but we're going to get Sweet Honey in the Rock to go to jail with us. But building the movement, going into town, staying up all night, have been Yara and Sharon and these musicians who are teaching a new generation the songs of the movement. And I think we ought to give them a mighty round of applause. What you don't know is that song was written, We Won't Be Silent Anymore, one night when a lady was in one of our meetings and she was dying from coal ash poisoning. And she came to the mic and said, I might not be living anymore when you all come back. And Yara was sitting over because one of her jobs is to write songs from the testimonies. And when she got up, I said, you have a song? She said, I just wrote one. And she began to sing, and we won't be silent anymore. That lady cried that night, and she died later. But she told Yara, she said, as long as you sing, every place you go, sing that song and remember those of us who are literally dying and hurting because of the injustices. Let's give it up forward together. Not once. Now I want to do one more thing, and I'm through. Where's this young lady? Come here, baby. I was in the back, y'all, van, Gina, and walked up on this sister. She looked like a sister, right? This is a sister. She's my sister. And she said, Reverend Barber, I was out there in those tents for the first Poor People's Campaign. She was there, and she said, I'm going to be out there again. So I told her to come on stage because these are the people who really matter, amen, who are making the movement real. Now, in a minute, Liz is going to say a few things to you about some sponsors, but I just want to say one more point. Those of you online, I know you're going to Ben & Jerry's, go to poorpeoplescampaign.org as well. We need people to sign up tonight for the movement. We need people to sign up for the movement. Those of you in the balcony, we need you to sign up for the movement. And I just want to say this last piece about the movement right now. There's two things. There's a scripture in the Bible in 2 Kings that says, the prophets cannot prophesy until the minstrels come forth and sing. So actually there is a certain kind of singing that can desensitize you. You know, there's a certain kind of singing that will sing you right into your own demise. You'll be having a funky good time while people are running a funky game on you. But then there's singing that literally changes your mind. There's singing that can make you leave the Brown Chapel AME Church in Selma, walk out and get beaten, come back, bandage yourself up, sing some more, and go out again. That's what theomusicology is. And then lastly, in the midst of this, there is a scripture in the Psalms that says, the stones that the builders rejected will and have become the chief cornerstones. In other words, the rejected have to lead the revival. The broken people have to lead the breakthrough and the breakthrough in justice. And I just wanted tonight with my little time to ask, is there anybody in here that's ever been rejected? Rejected because of your color. Rejected because of your nationality. Rejected because of your birth. Rejected because of your sexuality. Now, where are you? Rejected because of your race. Rejected because of your income. Rejected because of your size. The Bible actually teaches us that when the rejected come together, that we can in fact transform society. So let me drop a little something tonight. What's the brother that sings, Liz, that sings on Glory with no, but the other brother, Common. One night I was partying with Common. We were doing a little hip. Yeah, I'm the preacher party too. Yeah, we were at a concert, and it was a conscientious concert. And I had a few minutes to say something, and I said something like this. I said, brothers and sisters, if we come together, there is nothing we can't do. I know biblically what happens when we come together. Because when Moses and his rod came together, Pharaoh had to come down. When David and his slingshot came together, Goliath fell, and the next morning, the Jerusalem Post read, the bigger they come, the harder they fall. When Nebuchadnezzar, a tower-building, narcissistic egomaniac, was sitting on the throne, but when Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro came together, they brought Nebuchadnezzar down. When the disciples went in an upper room and the Holy Spirit got them, they came out and stood up to Caesar. So I know biblically when we come together, the rejected can lead a revival. But not only that, historically when we come together, it looked like slavery had the last say. But when white people like William Lloyd Garrison and Henry Thoreau and Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman all came together, slavery came down. It looked like Jim Crow had the last word. But when Viola Woosa, a white woman from Detroit, and Reed from All Souls Church here in D.C., and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and others came together, they brought Jim Crow down. Now, apartheid looked like it had it all. But when Nelson Mandela and Bishop Tutu and the women of apartheid came together, they brought apartheid down. So I know it biblically, I know it historically, but I will tell you I also know it personally. Because in 1985, 93, they told me I'd never walk again. They told me I wouldn't be able to do certain things again. They told me I wouldn't be able to stand again. And some of the time, the reason I'm long-winded, because I used not be able to stand like this. And I went into depression. My spirit was broken. But when my mind got together, and the prayer warriors at the church got together, and my doctor got together, and my pharmacist got together, and my swim coach got together, and my faith got together, I can jump now. Because when we all get together, the broken can become the builders of a new cornerstone in this nation. Are you ready to come together?
This morning, we gathered together and officially launched the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. And we gave notice that we will be returning to Washington and in states across this country for 40 days of sustained moral direct action, nonviolent civil disobedience, grassroots organizing, voter registration, and building a movement from the ground up. The Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival, is on. And we need all of you. So we are here this evening to continue in the tradition of those that have come before us, those in the Bible and other sacred texts, those in history, and those of us today, from Flint, Michigan to Grays Harbor, Washington, from Lowndes County, Alabama to Salinas, California. Those broken, rejected, powerful, poor people and moral leaders who are righting the wrongs of our society and building a movement from the ground up. And so it is an honor to be here. And we have a lot of work to do. We are seeing very hard times. And we know that this is going to be a long fight. And so it is powerful to know that we have all of you and many others on our side. So Gina Belafonte is going to introduce some of the folks that have made this evening possible. Yeah, including Ben and Jerry and other leaders that have come forward.
Hello, Ben.
I'd like to introduce two visionary entrepreneurs who changed the way we think about business. They were pioneers of socially responsible business before there was a term for it. They believed business has a responsibility to give back to the community, and that very business decision can be made based on a set of values. Ben and Jerry's is a social justice company that happens to make ice cream. I am pleased to introduce two men, friends since junior high school, who have been using the power of business to fight for justice and equality for almost 40 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben and Jerry, co-founders of Ben and Jerry's.
Anytime, man. You know, to me, this is about economic violence. The act of choosing to spend money in a way that results in death, disease, and destruction. Economic violence kills as surely as a sniper's bullet. And it is aimed precisely at people who have the least. Our country, which was once valiantly fighting a war on poverty, is now engaged in a perverse war on the poor. We are literally killing low-income people by dropping economic bombs which force them to live in toxic housing, drink lead-filled water, and breathe poisoned air, and then deny them health care. We claim that we just don't have enough money to solve these problems while we continue to spend over $700 billion a year, $700 billion a year on killing and preparing to kill literally millions of people around the world. We drop bombs on suspected terrorists, kill thousands of innocents, destabilize entire regions, and cause the death of millions, thereby creating more terrorists in an endless war on terror. We are literally creating enemies faster than we can kill them. And our country does this all in our name and with our money. Meanwhile, back at home, if we took just 15% of that $700 billion Pentagon budget, that would be $100 billion. Enough money to provide decent housing, drinking water, education, jobs, and health care for the people who are the targets of this economic violence. Martin Luther King said it best: our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. And now, in a callous slap in the face to poor people, our country has just gone into debt to give over $1 trillion in tax breaks to corporations and people earning over $1 million a year. Today, we announce that we are going into battle for the heart and soul of America. We will do it nonviolently, and with a joyful spirit, because it is in working together to end injustice that we find the true and glorious meaning of our lives.
Ben and I are incredibly honored and proud to be here and to have Ben and Jerry's be supporting the campaign. Ben and Jerry's will be communicating with its fans and customers all around the country to let them know of the campaign, but to also get them to sign up, not just to send your email, but to get involved in direct action, because that's what it's going to take. You know, when Ben and Jerry's involved, there's got to be ice cream involved also, and there's a flavor that's going to be supporting the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. We're serving it here tonight. It's One Sweet World. It's a coffee caramel ice cream with a marshmallow swirl and a salted caramel swirl and fudge chunks, and a portion of the proceeds will be donated to be supporting the campaign. Love being here. Thank you guys so much. Let's do it. You're beautiful.
That was for real Ben and for real Jerry. That was actually pretty cool. That was literally Ben and literally Jerry. Talk about some swirls. I mean, it's going to be a good night. I'm sorry. So look, so I get a chance tonight to introduce some of the greatest artists living. You guys don't even know who's here yet. Your minds are going to be blown. But the next person I get to bring to the stage is a hip-hop legend who has the stamp of approval from Harry Belafonte, from Angela Davis, from Chuck D himself. This brother is a 6-time hip-hop awardee, and he is constantly using hip-hop as a weapon, as a tool for liberation, not for degradation, but for liberation. He is committed to freeing minds one rhyme at a time. Welcome to the stage, Jasiri X in the house. In the house.
Let's go. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Got J Period on the wheels and steels. We gonna get it cracking, y'all.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
I truly believe, y'all, that celebrating, that dancing, that partying, that dreaming is part of resistance. We gonna dream today.
All white furs.
Look, I got a dream.
Diamond
If you
chains,
dreaming,
watches
say
in
it
the
with me. I
rings.
got a dream.
Counting my money with
Say,
a machine.
I got a dream.
Bow down to a black king. I got a dream.
I had a dream I met LeBron James. We was speaking on black empowerment, sending money to a black bank, call it a power trip. If it ain't heroin on my 20, then it's counterfeit. Black faces in my denim lining, tailor-made stitching like we about to win the Heisman. Call my brother son, cause I love it when he's shining. The pressure made me precious, my flesh is the living diamond. We buying back the hood and consolidating wallets. The principles of quasi cooperative economics. Raid Wall Street and put the stock up in my pocket. My checkbook is like the Bible, it's full of black prophets. Sitting in my rear view, the devil whispering, but I don't hear dude. Earbuds for the B, yes, I'm about to steer through. Freeze everything and run away, that's what fear do. It's hard to stay asleep when your dreams are so near you.
All white furs.
For my
with a
dreamers,
tank.
for my dreamers that put your
Diamond
hands in
chains,
the
watches
air.
in the rings.
If you living your best self.
Counting my money with a
All right,
machine.
you ready? I need y'all to say it with me. Say, look, I got a dream.
All white furs.
Say,
with a
I
tank.
got a dream.
Diamond chains, watches
Say,
in the rings.
I got a dream.
Counting my money with a
Say,
machine.
I got a dream.
Bow down to a black king.
I had a dream I was talking to Chance. Seen him in the street and then off of my ham. Not for the gram or for all of the fans. Cause even though we write verses, God offers the plans the most merciful. Please make my life purposeful. Make me an example to those who still worship you. Make me like water to those who may have deserted you. And please forgive all my curses too. And all the times I wasn't present in that church's pew. Reverend, I had work to do. Heaven and the earth to move. Judge me with your surface view. Haters throwing dirt on you. I don't take it personal. My code is reversible. Birthing through the birth canal. Lord, I was an earnest child. But I promised if you gave me light that I would burn it down. You admonished if you gave me sight to never turn around. Word is bound cause every real king gotta earn a crown. I got a dream.
All white furs for the team.
I got a dream.
Diamond chains, watches in the
dream.
Cap the machine.
I got a dream.
Bow down to a black king. I
got a dream. Cause they don't.
We face difficulties of today and tomorrow.
Yeah, give yourself a round of applause, you know what I'm saying?
I still have a dream.
We got a dream, y'all. Yeah.
For the second time this week, a black man has been killed by police in an encounter caught on video. Disturbing images from both cases have prompted new questions about the use of force.
Hands up!
Video taken from inside
Hands
the
up!
car shows an officer's
Hands
gun
up!
sticking through the window.
Hands up! I need y'all to put a hands up, you know what I'm saying? This movement began, man, when people rally around the deaths of unarmed black youth in these streets. We gonna say this so they hear us all over the country. I need y'all to say it with me. Look, it's like this. Don't let them get away with murder. 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 We gon' triumph in these streets, no longer living on our knees. We better dying on our feet, ready to fight for our life. Let's get the Almighty, please. Don't let them get away. How many bullets does it take for a cop shoot, kill an innocent black child? 15, 16, empty the clip, reload and pull the trigger back down. 17, 18, 19, frightening when you hear that rat-a-tat sound. 26, 27, every 20, I was put another body under that ground. Where the governor, he absent. With the prosecutor and the captain. They say the process democratic, but we getting bullets even though they got the ballot. Where's Malcolm, where's Chewy? Where's Pac, where's Big, where's Tukey? Where's Jay, where's Nine, where's Snoopy? Yo, the police like Boosie. Blame Nixon, he's guilty with the whole damn system. These filthy cops are his henchmen. Left Mike in the street for our definition of a lynching. Because I ain't from down here, they gonna tell me I need to mind my business. I saw him dead with a bullet in his head. You go to the feds, I'm a goddamn witness. It's war on us, 44's on us, and they still telling us be peaceful. Every week another black youth murder, and they still got a nerve tell us we equal. When we stand up and put our hands up as a sign of protest, we evil. It's blood in the streets and blood in your hands. This time you answer the people. Don't let them get away with murder. 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 We gon' triumph in these streets, no longer living on my knees. I'm better dying on my feet, ready to fight for my rights. Asking the Almighty, please. Don't let them get away with murder. They call it murder. Look, how many juries does it take to indict a killer cop just to get that trial? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, throw another victim on that path. 7, 8, 9 incidents, but don't never put a pink slip in that file. 10 eyewitnesses, but they never give a shit cause our pigment is brown. When the prosecutor, he biased, wanna wash his hands like Pontius Pilate, then blame us when the people get violent. You're the weatherman that created this climate. Wanna be your highness, ready yet a tyrant, cause you wanna try us, our people are defiant. Bringing up the doors, wanna turn on the hydrant. Generation David ain't afraid of Goliath. We got the power, we got the heart, ain't none of us cowards. All this pain, but the change up about us. Born for the moment, we made for the hour, made for the hour. What you gonna do when your cover gets blown, when the whole world sees so suffering at home, the complete opposite of the Star-Spangled Song. Hands in the air for those that are gone. I need to hear y'all on this one. This is for those that are gone. Need y'all to sing after me. Look, say, don't let them get away with murder. Say, don't let them get away with murder. Say, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. speaking of getting away with murder, you know what I'm saying? We talking about one of the most crooked administrations that we've ever seen right here in Washington, D.C., you know what I'm saying? And part of the reason we here today and we mobilizing and organizing because they mobilizing and pushing it back on us, you know what I'm saying? So we got to come together as people of color, as poor people, and bring this. So I want to share this. This is a new song I want to share with y'all. Can I share it with y'all? It goes like this, look. Look. Welcome to the Whitest House. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and don't wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the Whitest House, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out. White power, white pride, white privilege. Whites maintain all their rights when whites pillage. White lies, white tears, and white feelings. White supremacy in the White House, the whitest building, ironically, in the place they call Chocolate City. Now all you see is a vanilla sky. That stuff will kill your vibe. Then turn on the news for the realest lies. Damn, that shit is sadder than when children cry. 45 make you want to grab a 45. Nazis, what is this, 1945? Progressive white so horrified. Black people, like we tried to tell y'all, you ignored the signs. Trudeau, they need a visa, please order mine. Or my Chicano peeps can sneak me through the borderline. That slogan on that red hat was so popular. Who knew it meant marching with torches and waving swastikas? Welcome to the Whitest House. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and don't wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the Whitest House, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it. And when the anthem plays, I'ma sit next to Colin Kaepernick and Marshawn Lynch. Shout out to all my Africans, descendants of those victims of slave trafficking. The men that captured them, they built statues to champion. And what religion were they practicing? Burning crosses in the Oval Office, while Omarosa and Ben Carson defend racists in the same place Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. White minds with black faces, a nation indoctrinated in hatred in need of an operation. Eternal rating less than 1/3 of the population who took off their hoods so their identity's not mistaken. America's greatness, we not debating. Her history of murder and raping, we not erasing. But if all the racists are patriots flag waving, then a real American can only be Caucasian. Welcome to the Whitest House. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and don't wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the Whitest House, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out. My name is Syriac, you know what I'm saying? I come to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, an organization called One Hood. I wasn't even rapping until I met Harry Belafonte, Gina Belafonte, the Gathering for Justice in Sankofa. I'm here because of them. Peace, y'all.
Jasiri X! Woo!
The group most devastated by America's obsession with the gun is African Americans. America is the largest prison population in the world. Men, women, children who make up the incarcerated, the overwhelming majority is black. The river of blood that washes the streets of our nation flows mostly from the bodies of our black children. Where is the raised voice of black America? Why are we mute? My mentors, Paul Robeson, said, artists are the gatekeepers of truth. We are civilization's radical voice. Our kids, those who languish in the prisons of America, are waiting for us to change the system. Thank you.
I heard the call. We have talent, we have certain powers, we have the will to use it.
We are creating an institution that facilitates the alliance between art, culture, celebrity, and social justice movement and grassroots organizing.
Reach out to these young cats and sort of be your voice within my voice.
So rise, oh, rise, oh, rise, oh, rise, oh, rise up. Lift your eyes, oh, eyes, oh, eyes, oh, eyes up. And listen to the music.
To understand that, yeah, you have an obligation to make some changes with that visibility.
Stand for the earth we shake. One body, one people, one mind, yeah. We can make an impact today.
We're just getting started.
But we must be one. Yeah, we must be one. Yeah, the wind is free.
If we all come together and do this, we can make a real difference.
Yeah, we gotta change the world.
A collective of artists that celebrate, examine, and advocate for life through music and poetry. Their art can take you on a journey from the boogie down to Berlin, from the border to the bodega. Their style emphasizes lyricism, rhythm, and authenticity. Coming from the Bronx, New York City, please welcome the Peace Poets.
People,
Power.
people,
Power.
When I say we want, y'all say justice. We want
Justice.
We want
Justice.
Beautiful family, it's so good to feel your energy to be together tonight.
Yes,
We
yes.
want you to know that we have not come here alone. That we enter this building tonight in this city, carrying with us our families, our blocks, our communities, our ancestors, and everyone who we love and who loved us, and so do you. So I want you all to welcome into the room right now all the people that you love and the people who have loved you.
Yeah.
Let their spirit fill this space up right now, because we are going to ask you to sing with us, because we need this country to know that we are not alone when we take the streets for justice.
Yes.
And we are not alone when we fight for our liberation. There's billions of us. We're going to ask you to sing this song with us. And the words are like this.
I have not come here alone.
I have not come here alone.
I carry my people in my bones.
I carry my people in my bones.
I have not come here alone.
I have not come here alone.
And if you listen, you can hear them.
You can hear them
in my soul.
In my soul.
All right. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. Yes. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul.
I have not.
I have not come here alone.
I carry my people.
Yeah. I carry my people in my bones. If you listen, you can hear them in my soul.
I'm not alone like our people at a graduation. They call your name, you hear the go to
It's a celebration.
Rooted in culture, traditions of libations. Soul and black gold, we spread through many nations. So many iterations, we are the variations. But at large, we don't understand the situation. Love is simple, but we're caught up in the complications. I'm not alone, I felt myself in your vibration.
Showing up loud with my grandmother's voice.
Yes.
Coming through calm with my old man's voice. In case you're wondering who making all the noise, I'm coming with the hood who taught me quien soy.
I'm from a long line of activistas, breaking down the borders of imperialistas. And we don't die, we multiply.
We a million more times than meets the eye.
I have not
Sing that.
come here alone.
See, I carry my people.
I carry my people in my
am never alone. Mississippi's in my bones, hard work. Sweat drip, hits the ground. Life was never fair then, I can tell you now. They never knew our worth, jury in the lost and found. Work my weight in gold, beat the sweat can make a crown. Got money on my mind, but family over everything. I'm looking up when the chips is looking down. Work songs, look for something when the road is beating down.
Indigena, Africa, South Bronx in the building. Not a walk, bound to rock, where water protect the ceiling. Our bodies on the line, life and liberty, risking shutting all borders down till we end total dominion. Can't waste another minute, blood spilled by the billions. Our village resisting, prison fast and sittings. Beautiful children, victims of police killings. Y'all got a light so we can walk in the visions. Right. I sit back and reflect on Che Guevara, Malcolm Martin, and Freddie D. U.P. inside. Nelson Jesus, Muhammad Gandhi, and soldier of truth. And all the mamas and the papas out here steady raising our youth. We plant seeds cause we know of our roots. With our hands in the land till we bearing its fruit. I thought Bay calling out telling us we were robbed. I look deep in your eyes and realize I have nothing that come here alone. Come on. I carry my people in my bones. Feel your people now. Yes. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. Say that last line. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. One more time. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul.
Peace, family. Thank you so much for your love and your presence, which we are sharing so generously with each other tonight. We are here fresh from the border. We were part of the School of the Americas Encuentro, and we want to, shout outs to everybody who was gathered in Arizona. We stood in front of the Eloy Detention Center where they are keeping thousands of our people all over this country in similar facilities. And this is the spirit in which we want to sing this song in, and in which we invite you to sing this song in. The lyrics go, Oye mi gente, traemos la fuerza, which means, Ayo my people, we bring the strength. La libertad es mi única bandera. Liberation for all is my only flag. Right? And we bring in the spirit of no human being being illegal. No human being is illegal.
That's right. In that spirit, we want to shout out our people from Oak Flat who are in the building tonight. Show some love, make some noise, y'all. With immense gratitude for the Poor People's Campaign, for all of you, for each of y'all, for the people who are working out front, for the people who are working security tonight, for all our families back on our blocks. Sing this one with us like you mean it. Let's do this. Oye mi gente, traemos a fuerza, la libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up my people, my condos, my eagles, no human being will ever be illegal. Oye mi gente, traemos a fuerza, la libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up my people, my condos, my eagles, no human being will ever be illegal. Hay una sola raza, familia humana, la Pachamama canto, yo escucho sus palabras. Ella dice basta, no a la matanza. Cálmense mis hijos, piensen en mañana. La esperanza vive en nosotros de chiquitos. Otro mundo es posible, ya está escrito. Like the San Patricio, fighting for the Mexicans. Want the flag, freedom what I represent.
Que el pueblo se levante, dignidad para todos en ese instante. Ni bobo o ciego, veo el elefante, por eso pa'lante.
Siempre pa'lante.
Forward with no fear of a border. We know racism is a disorder. They masked up on the corner, leading us to the slaughter, but calling someone illegal as stupid as owning water.
Say, oye mi gente, traemos la fuerza, la libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up my people, my condos, my eagles, no human being will ever be illegal.
But right, hypocrites colonize and enforce borders. Cowards take over power for law and order. How you move to new places, set up gates, displace folks based on race like an act of grace. Perception changes your information. White folks in Brooklyn to change the situation. When they do it, it's gentrification. When we do it, they call it immigration.
Aguante
Caribe, el cóndor está presente. Con mi águila luchamos para la vida hasta la muerte. Reclamando la tierra, protegiendo el agua, defender nuestra comida. La modificada matan, enseñar mejor ejemplo. Llama de que llaman. No animales ni humanos fueron hechos para una jaula. Valora a mi gente más que plomo y plata. Y así logramos paz entre todas las razas.
Say no. No ban and no war. Say that with us. We say no. No ban. No ban and no war. 3 times. We say no, no, no. No ban and no war. Say that. We say no, no, no. No ban and no war. We say, oye, mi gente, traemos la fuerza. La libertad es mi única bandera. Rise up, my people, my condors, my eagles. No human being will ever be illegal. Rise up, my people, my condors, my eagles. No human being will ever be illegal.
We're the Peace Poets. We love y'all. Respect.
Peace.
Peace Poets. Another round of applause for the Peace Poets. Amazing, amazing message. The young people are showing up for us in this movement, yo. Please welcome back to the stage Reverend Dr. Liz Theo Harris.
"50 years ago, this month, in December of 1967, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, 'There is nothing wrong with a traffic light, which says that you have to stop for a red light. But when a fire is raging, the fire truck goes right through that red light, and normal traffic had better get out of its way.' Or when a man is bleeding to death, the ambulance goes through those red lights at top speed. There is a fire raging now for the poor of this society. They are living in tragic conditions because of the terrible economic injustices that keep them locked in. Disinherited people all over the world are bleeding to death from deep social and economic wounds. They need brigades of ambulance drivers who will have to ignore the red lights of the present system until the emergency is solved. Massive civil disobedience is a strategy for social change, which is at least as forceful as an ambulance with its sirens on full. That's right. Today, these words still ring true. We have been on a 15-state organizing tour, calling and bringing people together for the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. And if we look at what's been going on over these past 3 months as we've toured this nation, we have seen storms raging and destroying the lives and livelihoods of especially the most vulnerable in Texas and Florida and North Carolina and California and Puerto Rico and so many places. We've seen a heightened, concerted attack on immigrants with the revocation of DACA, the building of the wall, increased detention and deportation, and now with TPS, 1 million more immigrants might be divided from their families. We have neo-Nazis marching on our streets, and black and brown and poor bodies being murdered by the police. We have tens of millions of people on the brink of losing their life-saving health care. And the tax cuts that are on the brink of being passed are an obscene, a demonic transfer of wealth from the bottom to the top. They will result in cutting major, vital, life-saving programs that uplift the human condition. The Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation has found that while big corporations, millionaires, and their heirs will benefit, most people making under $75,000 a year will see their tax burdens rise. And as we heard already this evening, this legislation will add $1.4 trillion to the national debt, setting the stage for future cuts to programs that help the poor. So in the short term, we will see automatic cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. And in the long term, this tax plan lays the groundwork for massive cuts to Social Security and other programs to sustain the poor, the elderly, and the most vulnerable among us. Our nation is in need of a moral revival. Our nation needs a poor people's campaign. And as we've been traveling this country and as people are joining us on the live stream tonight, we've been meeting up with local leaders across dozens of states, 37 states. People in the thousands are signing up to engage in moral, direct action and nonviolent civil disobedience. People are saying, we want to be ambulance drivers. We are willing to run through the red lights to solve systemic racism, poverty, the war economy, ecological devastation, and our distorted moral narrative. We have to stop the attention violence. We have to let our voices be heard. We are here. We are ready. We are poor and moral leaders and people of conscience, and we will put our bodies on the line. We will engage in 40 days of moral action. We need a season, a sustained season of voter registration and grassroots organizing and nonviolent civil disobedience and power building. Because we are building a movement. We are working to save the soul of our democracy. We are calling for a revolution of values, and we will be heard. The Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival, stands for the end of systemic racism, white nationalism, white supremacy, the dismantling of unjust criminalization systems that exploit and incarcerate poor communities and communities of color, and against unjust immigration policies. We believe that people should not live in or die from poverty in the richest nation to ever exist. We recognize the fundamental rights of all people to living wages, to guaranteed income, to quality health care, to housing, clean water, and sanitation services, to gender equality, healthy communities, and free and equal access to quality public education. Blaming the poor and claiming that the United States does not have an abundance of resources to overcome poverty are false narratives used to perpetrate economic exploitation, exclusion, and deep inequality. We believe in the transformation of the war economy into a peace economy that values all life, all humanity. Indeed, in the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, a society that spends more on the military than it does on education and health care for its people is approaching spiritual death. And we stand for an end to ecological devastation, the buying and selling of the earth's resources to benefit a wealthy few, the detrimental impacts of climate change, especially on those most vulnerable and marginalized. And we believe that we will win. We will win health care. We will win living wages. We will win voting rights. We will win clean water and healthy communities. We will win the right to heal our veterans. We will win housing for the homeless. We believe that we will win. Will you join us?
And I want to tell you about my daughter, Venus. Venus started her journey about 14 months before she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Having no medical insurance, Venus had to wait to be approved for every medical procedure she received and was waiting for approval for a CAT scan when she was at my house and said her head was hurting so bad she couldn't see. So we rushed her to the ER. And when she got there, she lapsed into a coma. And she finally got the CAT scan that she needed, and they found 2 tumors in her brain. One had ruptured. The next day, we gathered around Venus to say our goodbyes, and we unplugged the tube, and Venus died. Even though many parents have buried their children, no parent should have, in America, should have to bury their child for a lack of medicated space.
I got a 10-year-old son, his name is Ian. I had to have a conversation with him of how he needed to act if the police ever stopped him. I had to tell my 10-year-old son that if they stop you, don't move too fast. If they stop you, put your hands up so they can see your hands. If they stop you, be polite. Say yes, sir. Because it's more important for you to come home at night than anything else.
My family and I have almost 250-year history in this part of the country. And we have fought and we have served in every war my nation has fought, including myself. Because of a genetic condition that I was diagnosed with in my 30s, I was locked out of the healthcare system for many years. When I was 41, I found a lump in my left breast. That lump was so large that my mammogram was enough to be positive for cancer. Because I had finally been diagnosed with cancer, I could then get health care. Jesus. And I'm going to tell you, when I needed my country, Lord. Senator Mitch McConnell didn't know my name. Yeah. But when he gets ready to fight the next war, they all know where to find me.
Que mis hijos ya tenía como 16 años que no los miraba.
It had been 16 years since I hadn't been able to see my children.
Y a mi esposo apenas tiene 2 años porque él estaba aquí como por 30 años ya.
My husband had been here in the country for over 30 years.
Pues es algo muy triste porque pues hasta con engaños sacar a la gente, él no tenía ningún récord criminal, o sea, el único delito era haber estado aquí ilegal.
It is very sad because he was no criminal.
At 18 years old, I found myself fighting an illegal and immoral war in Iraq, where over 1 million people were killed, with millions displaced, kickstarting the largest refugee crisis since World War II. Since returning from Iraq, I've lost more friends to suicide than we lost in the combat zone. In other words, more members from my platoon have killed themselves since returning home than died in Iraq. While the U.S. spends trillions abroad, my friends, family, and fellow veterans suffer the economic consequences of the war economy. Our disability, education, healthcare benefits are constantly under attack. In our hometowns in the Rust Belt, families crumble under the pressure of austerity and poverty.
The New Mexico downwinners are the collateral damage that resulted from the development and testing of the first atomic bomb. The U.S. government has been very good at hiding the truth about what really took place here in New Mexico. They categorized the area around the Trinity site as remote and uninhabited, when in reality, according to the U.S. Census, over 40,000 people lived in a 50-mile radius. When a family has to spend all they have to obtain medical care they need to survive the cancer that they've developed, they only rack up debt. They never have a chance to develop assets.
And the reality is that I am poor. I've been poor for most of my working life. And it wasn't until I had this crisis that I'd realized the lies that I've been fed about my own life. I am the daughter of Indian Hindu immigrants to this country, and this movement is for my father, who struggled with steady work, who blamed himself for not having enough for his family, who was in and out of the psychiatric ward of a hospital and who killed himself when I was 10. This movement is for my mother, who raised me and my brother without anybody around, without anybody. And this movement is for me, and this movement is for you, each of us, all of our family members, because no one gets left behind.
Poor and homeless people get stereotyped like we're too stupid and lazy to solve our own problems. I wasn't homeless because I was stupid and lazy. I was homeless because our county has no problem with the pregnant mothers being homeless in the dead of winter, while just 2 hours away in Seattle, the CEOs of Microsoft and Amazon have made themselves the richest individuals on the planet. Some of you might be suspicious about a Grace Harbor County person getting up here in front of this crowd thinking, aren't they all just a bunch of rednecks out there? Yes, I'm a redneck. We are radical rednecks. We're hillbillies for the liberation of people. We are the living reminder that when they went to throw out their white trash, they didn't burn it. We're here to stand shoulder to shoulder with anybody taking up this campaign, and trust me, we're the kind of scrappy you want on your side in a fight.
Yeah.
Check, check. A lot of emotion, a lot of humanity that we just saw, and that's a perfect introduction to an artist who proudly has been able to use his incredible gifts to touch on the humanity of ordinary people. He sees himself as a stand for what he calls the underdogs and the things that they go through every day. I'm not going to spend any more time talking about him because his voice is so powerful it speaks for itself, and so does his name. His name is Aloe Blacc.
Good evening. Times in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but of a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I share your load. If you just call me, so just call me when you need a friend. Oh, baby, now call me when you need a friend. Come on, call me when you need a friend. Let me hear you sing it with me now. Call me, yeah. Call me. Thank you. Yes. Lean on me. Now, we have to lean on each other in these times to make it through. Because we sure can't lean on the man at the top. Does anybody know what the name of this song is that the DJ's playing? If you have Shazam, you should Shazam it. It's by the Honey Drippers. It's a song they call Impeach the President. Woo. Yeah, yeah. Hey. Don't it feel so funky, yeah? Oh, yeah. I like the funk in the soul. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Now back in the day, a funky soul song like this will get in your bones. But with a lyric like, impeach the president. Come on, impeach the president. Impeach the president. You know they wasn't messing around. And sometimes a classic like this need to come back around every once and again. You know? Go ahead. But let's mix it up and get back to the Poor People's Campaign. Because everybody has this feeling every once in a while where they just need a little something. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it. I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey, said I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey, but I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, won't you share your dollar with me? Bad times are coming and I reap what I done sown. Hey, hey, well, let me tell you something. All that glitters ain't gold. Hey, hey. take away my sorrow. Maybe it's inside the bottle. Maybe it's inside the bottle. I hate to good old buddy. His name's is whiskey and wine. And for my good old buddy, I spend my last dime. Now wine is good to me. It helped me pass the time. And my good old buddy, whiskey keep me warmer than sunshine. Said I need $1, $1 is what I need. Hey, hey, what I need, $1, $1 is what I need. Hey, hey, said I need $1, $1 is what I need. And if I share with you my story, won't you share your dollar with me? Come on, share your dollar. Give me your dollar. Share your dollar. Give me your dollar. Share your dollar with me. Yeah. Said I need $1, yeah. Somebody say I need $1. Say I need $1. Your mama may have got blood, the child has got his own. If God has plans for me, I hope it ain't written in stone. I've been working myself down to the bone, and I swear on Grandpa's grave, I'll be paid when I come home. I need $1, say $1, that's what I need. Eh, eh. I need $1, say $1, that's what I need. Eh, eh. I need $1, that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Break down. I need $1, $1, that's what I need. Let me hear you say, I need $1, $1, that's what I need. Sing it for me. I need $1, $1, that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Hey, hey, hey.
Thank you. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Let's do this next one.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Said I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother, yeah, and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me right back down on my knees. And oh, there have been times when I thought that I wouldn't last for long. But now I know I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, and I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. When I thought that I wouldn't last for long, now I know I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Thank you so much.
Which ones do you have there?
Hello, Black did that. Give him another round of applause. Man. You wasn't supposed to do that last song. He snuck that one in. I'm glad he did. That was an old Sam Cooke song. You know, Sam Cooke heard Bob Dylan sing Blowing in the Wind. And Sam Cooke said, I'm not going to be outdone. And he wrote Long Time Coming. And so we're proud to have had Aloe Blacc on the stage with that. But we're not, oh yeah. But we're not done. We're not done. We're about to hear some voices that are part of an ensemble that has its roots. Don't give it away. Don't see. That's why we can't have nice things. Shh. Let me at least build it up for the folk who don't know. That's why we can't have nice things. So this ensemble has its roots deep, deep in the movement. Back when we had young people who were willing to risk their lives at bus counters and freedom rides and registering voters, people had to ask the question, how can you sustain a movement? How can you have this level of courage? How can you have this level of moral witness when people are literally dying? We're not talking about bad tweets. We're not talking about bad Facebook posts. We're talking about folk going to rallies and meetings and not coming back home, but fighting for freedom. Where do you find the moral strength and the spiritual courage to be able to sustain that kind of struggle, such that now people all around the world refer back to that struggle when they go out to fight? Well, part of it, the key, the secret, was the voices of women who were willing to put their altos and their sopranos together and form a wall of protection, of magic, of beauty, of genius, of courage. And it sounded so sweet, but it was against such tough odds that people came to know them as Sweet Honey in the Rock. Bring him to the stage.
Good evening.
Hey.
We are truly honored to be a part of this important movement, and we hope that all of the things that have been said and shared this evening will resonate in your hearts in such a way that you can take it and keep it moving, keep it going. We all know that we who believe in freedom cannot rest, and we are the ones we've been waiting for. We're going to start with a song that is called Sankofa, and it addresses terrorism on these shores and talks about a time of lynching, a time of destruction, and our Black Wall Street, otherwise known as Little Africa.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 1st, 1921, throughout the streets of Greenwood, the killing had begun, and by the time the day was over, business, churches, schools, and more, Little Africa, our Black Wall Street, was completely destroyed. It was a time of lynching across the USA. Hateful greed in so many hearts resembled life today. We must remember, perhaps forgive, but don't forget, so we will not repeat the past mistakes that we'll regret.
Sankofa.
With African Americans settled here, forced into Tulasi, along the tragic trail of tears. Railroads brought new settlers, oil discovered in this place. African Americans began to prosper in this strong economic base. Profits earned stayed within this new community. Wealth was built, business grew, so did hate and jealousy. Many felt that this success was not for those whose skin was black. Made a plan to bring it down with a deadly attack. accused of assaulting Sarah Page. It was used as an opportunity for the terror they would wage. Greenwood bombed from the air, Little Africa burned to the ground. The residents of Black Wall Street were murdered and gunned down. Reports that thousands were killed, thousands displaced, so many injured while mass looting took place. Churches, schools, restaurants, libraries, grocery stores, the hospital, bank, and bus system, all of Greenwood destroyed.
This is a song from our latest recording, Love and Evolution. And the name of the song is IDK, but I'm LOL. We all know what IDK means, right? I don't know, but I'm LOL. We're laughing out loud, living out loud, learning out loud, and loving out loud.
So much trouble in the world today. Life's so hard it takes my breath away. Is there anything to do or say to bring some joy to light? I know I will raise my voice. I'll sing about love. I'll let love rain down in a song like a sweet waterfall. I know together we can make a change. Just put a little bit of love on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I am loving out loud. Hey, yeah, yeah. Living, learning, all right. Living, loving out loud. Living, learning, loving,
Listening out loud, high above the crowd, dancing on a cloud while I'm listening out loud. Musical juice, lyrics don't carry me home. Oh, carry me home. Do 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 dooby dooby doo dooby 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 doo doo dooby 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 doo.
My, my, my. You're listening to the sounds of 102.3 on your dial. I am Dr. Lovely here at the Howard with the Honeys. We're on the mic bringing you jams and rhythms tailor-made for your delight. We got something for your spirit, something for your mind, something for your body. Leave your worries behind. So we want to know, what's your flavor? Is it sweet? Is it hot? Is it cool? Is it not? Maybe you're moving fast, maybe you're laying low. Maybe you're feeling high, maybe you're moving slow. However you're feeling, don't be shy, be proud. Live it how you feel it, but live it out loud.
Oh, I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I'm living out loud. Even when I don't know what to sing, I'm listening out loud. When the world turns upside down, I'm loving out loud. I can see the blessings all around. I'm grateful and I'm laughing out loud. Oh, laughing out loud. Mama, na 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 na, mama, na 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 na. Living, learning, yeah, loving, I'm loving out loud. Living, learning, oh, loving, loving.
IDK, but I'm LOL. IDK, but I'm LOL. IDK, but I'm LOL. IDK, but I'm LOL. IDK, but I'm LOL.
I don't know.
IDK, but I'm LOL.
And when we really think about it, what can we really know? I mean, all of us live right here around the Beltway, and yet how many of us really know what's going on behind those doors, behind that White House? How can we really know? We got all kinds of news. We got MSNBC, CNBC, Fox News. We got the internet news. We got the fake news, real news. And we got the alternative facts news. That's really scary, right? How can we really know? And when we really think about it, how can any of us really know what's gonna happen from one moment to the next? We don't know. It could be a big surprise, a welcome surprise, or maybe not. So what can we do? We can dig down deep within our souls and find something that never changes. No matter what comes, what hurricane, what tornado, what earthquake, what administration. So, we are living out loud, learning out loud, laughing out loud, listening out loud, and loving out loud. IDK, 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 IDK. Dooby dooby doo, dooby 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 doo. Dooby dooby doo, be dooby dooby doo. Dooby dooby doo, dooby 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 doo. Dooby dooby doo, be dooby dooby doo.
Thank you all so much.
Let's go.
Ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba, ba-da, ba-da, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with every deed and word I speak. Restore peace again.
again. Let there be peace on earth and let the moment be now, where every man and woman understand their power. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Oh, peace. Ba-dum. Let there be peace on earth and let it extend to every border near and far. Restore peace again. Let there be peace on earth and let this be the day where all humanity will raise their voices to say, let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Oh, peace. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Oh, yeah. Let there be peace on earth. Yeah, la, 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 la. Let there be peace on earth. La, 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 yo. La, 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 I wanted to start with me. Let there be peace on earth. I want to spread peace and love and joy and faith and love all over the world. Let there be peace. I want to start with me and you. So, y'all been a little quiet. But we want to hear from you because there's no peace if it doesn't start with all of us, right? It's got to start within us. Yes. So your line is real simple. It's just let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Y'all think y'all can do that with me? Whoa. Can y'all do that with me? All right. Real simple. Yeah. Sing this with me. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Come on, DMV, show us how it's done. Louder! Let it begin with me. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Let there be peace on earth. Hey, let it begin with me. Sounds so beautiful. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Oh yeah. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Last time we'll say, let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me.
Thank you all so very much. We are here.
Sweet Honey in the Rock. Please, encore. Yes, give it up for Sweet Honey in the Rock. Let there be peace on earth.
Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for your love.
We love you too.
We love you. We love you. And we want to leave you with this gift. Elisa?
We are leaving you with this gift. Please accept.
When there is light in the soul. There is beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is honor in the nation. When there is honor in the nation, there is peace in the world. When there is light in the soul, there is beauty in the person. When there is beauty in the person, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is honor in the nation. When there is honor in the nation, there is peace in the
All right. How are we doing? How are we doing? I feel so blessed to be here tonight, and I want to thank all of you for coming out. I want to thank the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for a moral revival, for launching itself and for us to come together in community, to work together in community. I want to just take this moment, if I could, first of all, to thank the Howard Theater, again, to thank the staff of the Howard Theater, to thank Blue Note, who works with the Howard Theater, to thank all the stagehands and the sound techs and the video techs. I want to thank Ben & Jerry's. I want to thank the live stream. I want to thank Repairers of the Breach live stream. I want to thank everyone who came together to make this event. I want to thank my Sankofa staff. I also want to thank Gopher Dindis, John Dindis, and Molly Farrell, who helped produce this evening tonight. I feel really grateful and blessed to be working with so many people who believe in this movement, believe in this moment, and want to work together for a better future for us all, for equity for us all. I want to tell you just a little bit about Sankofa.org. We saw a video earlier tonight. Sankofa, founded by my father, Harry Belafonte, is an organization that works with artists, thought leaders, celebrities, in partnership with grassroots movement, in partnership with organizing communities, to elevate the voices of disenfranchised peoples, to create cultural platforms where we can engage communities to come and hear the message from the people, to hear the message from the artists, our gatekeepers of truth. And so many of the artists tonight showed up for us. They came forward to show their solidarity in this movement and in this moment, and I want to give all of them a round of applause, please. I want to thank tonight the house band that has been so gracious to work with us, and this brother here, Brian Satz, has been working with Sankofa since its inception, and I would like for him to introduce the band.
Well, yeah, surprise, shocking. On my right, on the keys, is Harold O'Neill. On the drums, On the drums is Sean Dixon. On the guitar is my man Emil McGloin. And on the decks, who you also may be very familiar with, is J. Period.
And this is Brian Satz. Round of applause for the band, please. Amazing. J. Period. Loving you. No, I'm not ready yet. So this next artist who is going to take us into the night. This next artist is a multi-Grammy, NAACP, and Soul Train Award winner who really needs no introduction. What I will say to you, though, is that over the past year, I've had the good fortune and opportunity to get to know him and his deep commitment to the work we do at sankofa.org and elevating social justice issues while working with underserved communities. I am blessed also to call him my friend. But I also want to highlight the amazing work that he does with so many organizations and so many communities to shine a light on the issues. Please give him a warm, warm round. Maxwell.
Shout out to the ladies. How y'all tonight? To all the strong women in the audience, let me hear you say hey. To all the brothers who support the ladies in the house, let me hear you say ho. Sankofa.org, let's get it. Let's have some fun tonight, y'all. I'm here to bring the frequency of love. Who's down for love tonight? I said, who's down for love tonight? Let's take you back to 1996, one time.
Cause you were a dream that you should not have been.
You made me feel good and feel what? I need y'all to help me sing the chorus. I'll be alive. Gotta know the love is here, baby. And you're the highest. One more time, let me hear y'all. Shouldn't I? Shout out to Martin Luther King over us. So don't ever wonder. No. Tell me how long. Without you, without us, without love, without God, without Mr. Harry Belafonte, without the power of our joy inside. How long it's gonna take until you speak, baby? God. I love you, DC. Shout out to Howard University. This feeling in my life. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for supporting the Poor People's Campaign, y'all. And shout out to Brian Satz and the greatest, Gina Belafonte. Shouldn't I realize you're the highest of the high? If you don't know, it's all about love. Don't ever wonder if you feel like you're being held down. If you feel alone, don't ever wonder. I love you so much. Shout out to everybody. Don't ever wonder. Oh. Thank you. We love you.
Maxwell was in the house. Maxwell showed up for the Poor People's Campaign, a moral revival. All right.
He already in the Uber. He already in the Uber.
This is like, whoa. Amazing, amazing. All right. I want to thank, again, the Howard Theater. I want to thank our amazing crew. I want to shout out to Biko Baker, who works
Yes.
at sankofa.org,
Biko.
who has
Biko.
been working our social media. Again, I want to thank Ben & Jerry's. I want to thank Campaign for Black Male Achievement for helping us to make this night possible. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you who've come out. I want to thank this sister right here, who was one of our testifiers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Who lost her daughter. We heard from her earlier. We heard from her earlier today, who is with us tonight. And I want to just acknowledge you. And I want to thank you for sticking with us and being in this movement and walking with us and letting us share your space and share in your grief and share in your joy and moving forward. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. I want to thank Van Jones, who I have to say, aside from also being an exceptionally good-looking brother, he is a force in so many areas, particularly where it comes to mass incarceration. He has been on the front lines of that work, working on policy, working on reentry issues and programs. We share that work together, and I want to thank you, Van, so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Love Army.
Yes, Love Army, absolutely.
Give a shout out to the Dream Corps where I work and cut50.org, Yes We Code, Green for All, Love Army, all that stuff. But I also want to take a minute to brag on Sankofa and to brag on my sister, Gina Belafonte. This sister,
thank you.
Y'all don't know. It is not easy being a woman in this movement who is trying to pull together artists, period. Just artists. There's a lot. But try to pull together artists with activists, with legends in the movement, with the new babies coming up. And she does it day after day after day. She doesn't ask for any credit. She just wants us to win. Please give your love and support to this. Y'all don't know what she goes through for us, but she's one of our greatest leaders that we have. Gina Belafonte.
Well, again, thank you guys for coming out tonight. It is my passion to be of service to this movement and to our work collectively. So make sure your pledge cards are in. Make sure you have conversations around your dinner tables. Make sure you vote. Please vote. Make sure you run for office if you can. And there's nothing there, brother. Is it?
Oh, good. Okay.
The night is over.
And good night. Appreciate
Good night,
you.
y'all. Thank you so much.
We are here.
Peace, peace, peace. The words of my dear father. Peace, peace, peace.